It's Michael White. I hope you guys are having a fantastic morning. For the next couple weeks, we are going to be doing lives 3 days a week, just so you guys know. And that's going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So, Mondays, we're going to share a video, review it, something that we, both want to talk about. And then Wednesdays and Fridays is going to be a video, not a video, sorry guys, where we just talk. We pick a topic, and it's obviously going to be based around love and relationships, and we just have an open conversation about it. So, with that being said, I definitely want you guys to like, share, subscribe the video. Guys, please don't ninja watch. Like, if you really want to help us and we really want to help you, like and share our content. Like, honestly, help us get it out there. We understand that there's other channels out there exactly like us, maybe saying the exact same thing. And we're not trying to compete with other channels. We're just trying to offer a different perspective. And one thing that we really want you guys to understand is it's not a war against men and women, because that's what it feels like. But all these channels are trying to do, especially us too, is trying to bring us together. We're not trying to keep us apart, but there's certain factors and ways of thinking and habits that are keeping us separate instead of us together. So, with our content, which we're fine tuning every day, for our audience and for you, is to have content that brings people together. So, even in the month of December, which we are coming up very closely on, we are looking at creating a Patreon account, which we already have, and actually creating digital courses for you based around relationships, based around healing. We'll probably have like a healing course, like, because again, we're not like dating coaches or anything, but like with the experience that me and my business partner both have, we're going to put that into a training course, talk about healing, um, talk about feminine and masculinity. And we're not even going to charge you that much for the course. But it's going to be a digital video course that you guys can watch, um, paid members on Patreon. And then we're also going to have the clothing line, which you guys can wear as well. So that's coming along shortly as well. So we have a lot of good things, and literally we are just going to give you guys value, and then you pick and choose the things you want from us. Because the thing is, we're not going to be right all the time. This is not what this channel is about. We're not here to be right? You pick and choose what you need from us, and then you take that and you go out and you apply it to your life. That's what the channel is truly about. So we're going to get into today's video, which is, should you demand a masculine and feminine woman? I don't think anybody has the right to demand anything from anybody, but you should be that off rip. Like, what I mean is, you shouldn't make somebody have to earn your masculinity. You shouldn't have to make somebody earn your femininity, because that's like you saying, like, well, I'll provide that to you when you prove that you're worthy. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. You should just be that already. Like, you should be a masculine man up front. And if she likes it and she vibes with it, cool. You should be a feminine woman off rip. If she likes it, if the guy likes it and vibes with it, cool. But you shouldn't be putting people in positions where they have to earn those things. It's honestly the worst thing you could do, because it's hindering your chances of actually finding a suitable partner. And today's video is actually going to cover that. The only thing that I feel that should be highly respected is your time, attention, and energy. That people should earn. But when you're meeting people or networking or looking to date, you should just be that off the beginning. Like, and we're going to discuss it in today's video, which is one of my favorite content creators. She's a Jamaican woman. Her name is Chanel. I think she's really wakening people up, especially women, to certain realities of things now. And that's what makes her content so good. And she's actually, starting to come up on the rise. And, if you guys like, please go follow her on YouTube. Her name is Chanel. You'll see it here once we start the video. But we're going to start the video and we're going to break it down. Sorry, there's a little bit of a technical error, but let me get this sorted quickly because I think this is an important video that a lot of women should hear. So just give it a second there and it will start back up. Just give me a minute there. But anyways, yeah. So let's before we share today's video, let's talk a little bit about what is the masculine, what is the feminine. Let's talk about it a little bit, right? Um, Masculinity is not running around beating your chest, proving how great you are, exerting your dominance. That's not what masculinity is. A lot of people think that's what it should be, but that's not what it is. Masculinity is feeling comfortable in yourself. Masculinity is learning how to be everything at once, I guess you can say. So, learning how to be gentle, learning how to be loving, learning how to be respectful, um, learning how to be understanding. But with that being said, you also know when to exert assertiveness. You know when to exert dominance. You know when to be what. So, like, again, you're not running around here telling people how great you are, but you have no problem exerting your dominance and saying, hey, like you were kind of out of pocket, knock that off. You have no problem voicing your opinion when need be. And to me, that's the definition of a masculine man. Because again, it's also very dangerous when you're out here just exerting your authority, trying to prove how masculine you are, trying to prove how great you are. When that's so dangerous, because again, you have no right to exert any type of authority over anybody. It's not your place in the world. It's not what you were meant to do. Now, being feminine, on the other hand, I believe is, being gentle, being cooperative, not being a pushover. It doesn't mean you exert dominance, but you have no problem speaking up. You have no problem like being who you need to be. And I think that's the most important thing for women is never losing that gentleness, because a lot of women have lost that gentleness. Um, you know what I mean? And I understand why sometimes in the workplace, sometimes you have to be a little aggressive to get ahead. Sometimes you have to be a certain way to get to where you want to go. And there's nothing wrong with that. Um, so again, I'm trying to get today's video started. Sorry, it's one of those technical difficulty days, but you're definitely going to get it, because I don't want to deny you guys that. So, what I'm gonna do for you guys, we're gonna do something a little different. Usually we do a video share, but we're gonna change it up today because YouTube's acting a little funky today, um, and it's not opening on the browser. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna find you the video. We're gonna play it. and we're going to break it down. So just give me a second here. We'll get this started because I think it's a message that both parties need to hear. So I'm going to play the video right now. You're going to hear audio because YouTube's acting a little funny. But we can break down the audio 100%. So let's go. Let's get it done and let's get started. Well, the guys, the video's almost done, but you see, she broke it down so well. You see, what she's pretty much saying is you cannot expect, and this would go either way, man or woman, right? You can't expect, let's say, for example, we use a man and then we use a woman. You can't expect, you're expecting this man to be a good provider, masculine, provide you all these things off rip. So if he doesn't provide them, you're out, right? You have this level of expectancy, right? And then if he doesn't provide that off the jump, you're out. But then on your end, you're saying, well, no, you have to earn it. It doesn't make sense, right? You're saying, well, you have to show me this, but I don't have to show you anything until you prove it. And it's like, doesn't really work that way. And you also got to understand too, and this goes on like both sides. You know, a woman shouldn't have to earn your masculinity. You should just be that off rip. You should be a good man off rip. Doesn't mean you have to put her on a pedestal and cater to her, but you should be a good man right off the jump. And you see, I love that she's like pointing this out because again, that's the problem with the dating. You see, and we're gonna cover both sides. Women think men want masculine women, but it's like, why? If that man's a masculine man, anything of masculinity from the opposite sex is going to turn him off. It's the same thing with females. You see what I'm saying? Like it's so interesting, and it's not an attack on both gender, but it's helping you open your eyes. You see how interesting it is how um a man will say, "Hey, I don't want a masculine chick." Everyone's throwing up arms, but then women could say, "Well, I don't like feminine dudes," and a whole bunch of women will agree with her. But you see, that's the thing. You have a lot of women that will openly say, "I don't like passive men. They turn me off. They're not exciting. They don't know how to take charge. They don't know how to be assertive." Right? um and it's rewarded. So what we're trying to say is on both sides, um you need to be open to what men and women want. Both need to be important, right? So if men don't want masculine chicks, learn to tap in your feminine. It's the same thing as a dude. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm perfect, guys. My whole life, up to a certain point, I've been very feminine. I was taught, hey, let the girl take charge. You know what I mean? You just kind of like support her, be there. It doesn't work. I am telling you this as a man. I've had more women leave me than stay because of my passiveness. You know what I mean? It's better for you to be more masculine and have the women leave, because at least that way they respect you, instead of being like, man, like this guy was so passive. He was so like, you know what I mean? Like he didn't know how to take charge. He didn't know how to tell me no. Like it doesn't work. But it's the same thing as a woman, right? Like when you're dating a guy and he's super passive, you know what I mean? Your attraction level for him goes down, because the one thing that you crave more than anything is security, and you're not getting that. He's not making you feel secure in the relationship. So, you know what I mean? That is a big hindrance within itself. And obviously it's going to make you feel some type of way. So, guys, learn to tap into your masculinity in a healthy way. And then females learn femininity to tap into that in a healthy way. So, we're going to continue the video. See, guys, what she's pretty much saying is stop playing the blame game. Stop saying, hey, like I'm not, feminine because of a guy, or a woman saying, or a man saying, I'm not masculine because of no. Take accountability. You're masculine because you're masculine. You're feminine because you're feminine. But you can fix it. You see what I'm saying? That's what the most important thing is. You can fix it. Because again, you see, and this is what I always tell people, you're going to have people always be attracted to you, want to talk to you, be with you, right? But you get to choose who you entertain. So sitting here saying, "Man, I keep picking not masculine women." No, the difference is you keep entertaining masculine women. It's the same thing with females. It's not that you keep attracting feminine men, because you can't help who's attracted to you and who's not. It's you keep entertaining feminine men. There's a difference, big difference, guys. Because there's who you attract and who you entertain. So you're gonna attract people just by being who you are, but you get to choose who you entertain. If you see that, like for example, if a female's too masculine, you could choose to walk away. If you choose to see that like a man is too feminine, you can choose to walk away. Nobody's keeping you there. So, with that being said, guys, what she's pretty much saying is you shouldn't follow celebrities. That's the problem. She's saying there's a lot of misinformation out there. Um, so that's the thing, right? There's too much misinformation um from celebrities, right? So then it's keeping people single. It's keeping a lot of females single because of this information. So that's the downside of it, right? And she's saying is stop listening to celebrities, do your own research, figure out how to tap into that femininity, figure out how to tap into the masculine, take accountability and stop blaming the men and men stop blaming the women and actually look in the mirror and say, you know what? I've dated a few not bad people. Maybe some of them were, not all of them, but um you say, let me just take a look in the mirror. Let me say, hey, stop entertaining these type of dudes and figure out who you are, because that's one of my biggest problems in dating, right? We keep test driving people's hearts, right? We'll entertain them for a little bit even though we don't like them that much, but we want their company, we want their time and their attention. No, stop using people for that. If you don't like them, don't hang out with them, don't spend time with them, don't do any of that. Because now what you're saying is it's totally okay for me to take a person's resources, which is their time, attention and energy, get as much of it as I can without reciprocating, like like any sexual like reciprocation. It's for guys too, because sometimes guys will do it, and females. And stop doing that, and be true to yourself. If you're not into someone, you're not into them, but don't ask them for time, attention and energy. Don't. Be respectful. Hey, I don't like you like that. I don't think we can spend any more time together. That's it. Move on. Instead of saying, hey, I'll keep you around to keep your time and attention and energy, right? You're saying, I still want masculine or feminine energy from you. No, that's a no go. That doesn't work. But to stay on topic, is you need to understand that no one should demand anything. I look at it like this: your presence and who you are should inspire that from someone, right? So let's say you're a man, you should inspire femininity by who you are as a man. And as a woman, your femininity should inspire masculinity, right? Like when he sees how feminine you are off jump, you not trying to make him jump through hoops and do all these things to get it, he's automatically going to jump into the masculine, because he's going to be like, wow, like this girl's not making me prove myself to her. We're just being together. And that's how it should be, right? I'm not going to tell you women how to be and how not to be. But I honestly think that from a man's point of view, if you want better results, learn to be more agreeable. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything he says, but let him lead. Trust him. You know what I mean? Be more cooperative. You know what I mean? Instead of arguing with him all the time, like be like, hey, like I trust you. Because you have to understand that if you picked a good man, when he make decisions, you know that all the decisions he make are only going to benefit the family. You know he's never going to do anything to hinder what you guys have. But when you are constantly questioning him and like constantly like I guess giving him a hard time, what you're saying is I don't trust your leadership. So if you don't trust his leadership, why are you with him? You see what I'm saying? It's the same flip side for men. If you're like dealing with a woman that's like very masculine, not letting you lead, clearly like she's not that much into you because she's not willing to put the masculine away and be feminine. And that's what I'm trying to say from a man's point of view, and that's why I'm here today just talking about it, is men like feminine, fit, cooperative women and women that are agreeable. It because again, it makes us relax to be more masculine with you guys. And it makes us be like want to protect you, want to take care of you, seeing that more feminine side of you. Femininity is not weak. Femininity is strength. There is power in femininity. There is power in nurturing. And that's what a lot of guys are looking for. But when you're meeting people and all you're seeing is like very feminine dudes, that, you know, and it's not knocking on the men that can't take care of you, or you're seeing very like masculine girl, it's going to turn you off. It just is. You're not going to feel desired by that person. You should be like, yo, they are way too passive. And I'm not telling you to like be on point all the time, but what I'm saying is figure out who you are as a person. And once you figure out who you are as a person, be that. And be very selective of not who you attract, but who you entertain. And that's a big thing. Like if the person's not reciprocative, um, move on. They're not choosing you. And a big thing is, and again, a little side note, I love it when we take little side notes here. If you've been hurt in past relationships and you've locked away your femininity or locked away your masculinity, you shouldn't be dating anybody, because we've all been hurt by people. But man, it's not fair when you date somebody to make someone else pay for that person's past sins. And we see it so much. You'll date someone, oh, my ex-boyfriend did this to me, or oh, my ex-girlfriend did this to me. I'm not them. You see what I'm saying? That person is not them. They deserve a clean slate. Then if you are in that mindset, then clearly you are not ready to date. You are not ready to give somebody your all. Clearly. Because yes, we all have triggers, and yes, we all have like things that have hurt us in the past, but other people shouldn't have to suffer for your sins, especially when you start dating. So let's say like you had a boyfriend in the past and he was really bad to you or whatever, and now you don't want to be feminine. Now you've locked away the feminine, right? And then you meet a new guy, you like him, but you're afraid, and you've locked away the feminine, right? Now you're doing a disservice to yourself, because you know, you're not being true to you, and you're doing a disservice to that guy because he's not getting all of you. He's not getting the full femininity because another guy messed it up. You should walk away, right? It's the same thing as a man. As a man, if you've been hurt by a girl or whatever, or let down, you shouldn't be dating, because now she's not getting the fullness of you. So you're doing a disservice to yourself, and you're also doing a disservice to her because she's not getting you in the fullness. She's not getting your full masculinity, right? So again, that's not fair on either side. So it's just something to think about, guys. We'll be live again tomorrow and Friday. Yo, look, thank you for everybody that's tuned in today. Please like, share, subscribe. And as I said, we also have some good things coming for you guys in the next coming weeks. So thank you very much, and we will see you soon.